Surely.
Yeah, I know.
Who stars in the movie?
Like 3 years.
I got Michael B. Jordan. I got the Washington kid.
What?
Denzel's son. What's his name? David Washington?
John David Washington.
Johnny David Washington. You know, I got him in the movie. I got Michael B. Jordan. Jamie Foxx.
Come on, stop it.
And then maybe the chick from Ma.
Oh, Octavia Spencer.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, welcome to Stairway to Cinema episode 31. Best show on the internet.
If you're, listening from Espanol, it would be Tres Uno. That's how you say 31.
Yeah, or in German, 31.
One more time?
31.
Shit.
Try saying that. Should be funny.
You got to say it real slow.
Nah, let's not waste any time on some German shit.
All I heard was ISIS. That's all I heard was...
Maybe that's what I said.
It was like, la la la, ISIS. So quick.
All right. I thought about making it a habit to have a section at the beginning of the podcast that's just out of context, a little bit of fun. Last time I had the quiz with the characters. Yeah. So this time I'm just gonna ask you some questions. It's gonna be like a lightning round. It's not, you don't have to know anything. I just wanna know something from you, right?
A lightning round, okay.
If you want me to answer those questions too, then yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Just say the first movie that comes to mind.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
So I have some questions, like 20 or something. What is for you a visually striking movie?
The Revenant.
Good answer. What is a movie with a soundtrack you like?
The Last of the Mohegans.
Good choice. A surprisingly good performance by an actor you don't normally like.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, good choice. Yeah. A movie you fell asleep in.
Ooh, shit. That's a good one. Michael, John Travolta. I fell asleep in the theater.
I don't even know that one.
Terrible movie. Don't ever watch it. He plays an angel.
It has John Travolta, so...
He plays an angel that comes down, and he's kind of a bad angel, It's bad. Terrible movie, man.
An angel with Travolta's face. That's interesting.
Yeah.
A director who made no movies you like.
Oh, shit. That's tough, because there's always something.
Yeah, even David Ayer with End of Watch.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good
Roland
one.
Emmerich.
No, because I still like The Patriot,
You're right. There's nothing you hate.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Hang on, let me sit on that. Yeah. No movies I like from a director.
Yeah.
Did you have one in mind?
No. Maybe Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, I could see that. He would Uwe Boll. The guy that does all the...
That's a good choice. That's
the guy that does all the fucking video game movies, man.
I've only seen one of his movies and it was bad.
Or the other Paul Anderson, the other one.
Paul W.H.S.
Yeah,
Anderson?
that
his name? Yeah.
It's Paul W.
But he did Event Horizon though, so
I know. See, there's always a gem in there,
Right. Moving on. A movie you think everybody should have seen at least once.
Goodfellas.
Not bad. An overrated actor.
Overrated actor. Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Yep.
A movie that perfectly embodies the 80s.
Big Trouble in Little China.
That's a solid choice, yeah. An underrated movie.
Underrated movie. Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Cut.
Interesting. Okay. A movie with a perfect ending.
Oh, shit. first one comes to mind would be Inception for me.
Okay. A movie with a perfect
there's so many
opening sequence.
there's so many good ones though, because even like Hostels came to mind. I love the ending to Hostels.
Hostels would be my pick for underrated movie, I think.
Yeah, because it is like no one ever talks about that movie.
Yeah, right. So a movie with a perfect opening sequence.
Shit, that's another good one. Perfect opening sequence.
My pick is Inglourious Basterds.
I gotta go. Oh, that's a good one too. I'll go Revenant. Revenant was the first one.
Also solid choice, yeah.
Yeah.
An underrated actor.
Underrated actor. Actor. Who is underrated in terms of acting? Acting. Because I feel like everyone sucks everyone's dick these days, so it's hard to like gauge underrated.
Yeah. Joel Edgerton.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of rated, you know, but he definitely. I could get behind the Edgerton. Maybe. No, I'm not gonna say. What's his name? Oh my god, it's too early today. Jason Bateman. I don't know why Jason Bateman popped in my head,
that's
but
fair.
I don't know. I don't know if he's underrated.
Yeah. All right.
But Edgerton's solid though. Edgerton's solid.
Yeah. What's a great comedy movie for you?
Great comedy. Vacation, the original.
Oh, okay. A movie with a good twist.
Fucking Sixth Sense immediately pops in my head.
That's classic.
Yeah.
A foreign language movie you like?
The Vanishing, the first one.
From which country is that?
That is from Daneland, I believe.
Denmark. Daneland.
Daneland, bro. That's how we say it over here.
All right.
Irishland.
Irishland. Germanland. Your favorite movie by David Fincher?
Gone Girl.
Okay. A movie that scared the shit out of you?
The Never-Ending Story.
As a child?
The Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't really get scared anymore. I mean, it's easy to say The Exorcist
right.
too, because that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So that's the easy choice would be Exorcist.
Yeah. All right. An actress who's a draw for you?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay. Good choice, actually.
Yeah.
She doesn't do a lot.
Yes, I think she's kind of fallen off. She's, you know.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men franchise, though. Didn't help her. Didn't help her at all.
Not at all. A movie that you would like a sequel of?
Demolition Man. Straight up.
Okay,
that's the long-awaited sequel that I've just been dying to see. So
can't say anything against that.
I gotta.
My pick would have been The Nice Guys.
Like,
sure.
that's solid, because I would kill to see a Nice Guys fucking sequel.
A genre that needs more movies.
Fantasy.
Okay, yeah. An actor who can play any role.
Gary Oldman.
True. An old movie that aged badly.
Ooh, wonderful. Old movie that aged badly. That's a good one, Armin. That's a good one. That's a tough one, because
I would say
sometimes they age well, you know? It's
true.
Because you and I, we have an appreciation for like the little things, so it's hard to think of an old movie that I don't think aged well, even though I know there's a ton of them.
I think my pick would be Bullet with Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's very slow. It's not really that exciting anymore, you know?
Maybe a Dirty Harry or something. Something like
Never
that.
seen that.
They're okay. The first one's alright.
So that's your pick?
I guess that one's conflicting. That's a conflicting one for me, because I'm too like I don't know. I think both of us are way too appreciative to like
Yeah, like even if a movie didn't age well, we don't think like I don't think we both see that as a bad thing because
No,
we
yeah, yeah.
we see the movie for the time it came out.
The time, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe Gone with the Wind, but not even
I
that.
don't actually plan on seeing that.
Because Gone with the Wind's still pretty shot pretty well. Maybe The Birth of a Nation about the Ku Klux Klan.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I don't know why. That's the question that's gnawing at me.
All right. Let's just move on.
A
A movie you had high expectations for and that disappointed you.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yep.
That's fair though. Okay. And the last one, what's a movie quote you love?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the questions I have for now.
That's good. I like those.
Was that fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I gotta ask. So maybe next time I'll do the same or something different. I'll see.
That's good stuff. I like the quick fire, even though I'm, dragging on some of them just because.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't think of a movie that didn't age well. It's just like, I guess like a sci-fi movie would be a good choice.
Yeah, but even 2001 aged pretty well, I think.
Exactly. Wizard of Oz has aged well. Fucking Hitchcock movies have aged well. It's
maybe Goldfinger.
Okay, so a Bond movie might be a good. Yeah. Moonraker.
Yeah, it's very slow. Action movies back in the day are not as exciting as they probably were at the time.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
At the time, it was probably the shit. So.
Yeah.
So, did you watch any movies this week?
Because even The Room, I'm sorry I'm harping on this, but The Room has aged better, right? Like it's just gotten better and better with time. All right.
Well, the Room can't age badly because it sucked at the beginning, right?
It's so good. So
yeah,
good.
Totally. So, movies. Did you watch any?
I didn't watch any movies, but I watched a lot of shows this week. So,
what shows? Survivor?
I took a 2-day break off of World of Warcraft. 1 day because I had no choice, but the other day I needed a break, and I watched all of season 3 of Westworld. So, that was fantastic. Yes.
That's the one with Aaron Paul, am I right?
Yeah, and it was nice to see Aaron Paul, in another role that I actually liked him in again. It's a good role.
Yeah, he hasn't been in a lot of good stuff.
Everybody though in that show continues to be kick-ass in that show. I love that whole entire cast, especially Thandie Newton. Thandie Newton for me, started off pretty well, with Crash. Even in Mission Impossible 2, I liked her in that, even though that movie's terrible. But I feel like she kind of dropped off for a long time there, and then. I don't know. I think she's one of the most impressive in that cast. But the story was very good this season as well. So looking forward to more of that when it ever comes out.
Yeah.
And then I watched 5 episodes of the season 2 of Succession. And that show is
the Brian Cox show.
Brian Cox, Kieran Culkin. That show, dude. That show is amazing. The lead guy in that show, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I think it's Chaim something. He was the dude that was in Uncut Gems. He was the... No, that's not him. I'm sorry.
What?
Hang on. Just give me a second. Nicholas Braun. Is that his name? Nope, that's not him either. He's good in the show, but that's not the guy I'm thinking of. The guy I'm thinking of, there it is, Jeremy Strong.
Oh, that guy.
Yes,
the guy from The Gentleman.
Yes, yeah. That's the one I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking Uncut Gems. It was The Gentleman that he played that part. I don't know why I crossed streams there on those 2 movies. That dude is fucking incredible in this show, man. And as well as this Matthew McFadden dude, which played I think he was in Pride and Prejudice back in the day with Yeah. With Keira Knightley.
He was also in Frost Nixon and Death at a Funeral.
Man, that dude kind of
cool.
he steals the show in a lot of these scenes. But that show continues to just be incredible.
Didn't that win some Globes last year?
It won the best drama, which made me happy because that means third season for sure. Which they already announced third season's coming.
Yeah,
so that's good. And then I watched like 7 episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation because I had a bug up my ass to go down memory lane, and lasted about 7 episodes, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life here?
That was a rewatch though, right?
Yeah. I've seen all that shit. No. I never like watched all of Deep Space Nine or Voyager. Next Generation's good though because Patrick Stewart. He's really Patrick Stewart and Brent Spiner, the guy that plays the android Data. Those two make the show for me. Everybody else is just whatever.
Have you seen Picard?
That's one of the reasons why I was trying to get like a refresher on Star Trek because I wanted to watch Picard. I wanted to watch Discovery as well. So.
I watched like 2 episodes of Discovery when it came out. Didn't hook me, so never continued.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty dark too, which I kind of makes me want to see it.
It's more action-packed than I would think of Star Trek.
Well, yeah, because they actually have a budget,
Yeah, right. But I mean, the movies are also very action-packed.
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta be. I think you gotta be a Trek person, though.
Probably. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's a lot of shows.
I wanted to mention this like 3 weeks ago, and I always forgot. I stopped watching The Simpsons because
I forgot about that.
Season 16. Just like I noticed, it sucks at that point.
Is that the drop off?
Probably. It already is. It's already not that good in season 15. I think until then it's pretty all right. From like I think 12 is the last really good season, even though 11 kind of sucks. And like from 13 to 15 it's like okay, but 16 was the point when I just like the plots are repeating themselves and it's just not that memorable anymore. Like I don't know,
too much Lisa.
The Simpsons lost its heart.
Too much Marge, fuck that shit.
I like Lisa episodes, like the old ones. March episodes are also, not bad, but okay. Everybody loves Homer episodes.
I'm all about Homer, man. I'm a Homer guy. I like Homer, fucking Bart. I like Chief Wiggum. I like the stupid people. I love that shit.
Right.
I don't like Lisa and her stupid fucking, points that she tries to make every time. It's like we get it, Lisa. We get it.
The thing is, Simpsons just has like, I think, for a TV cartoon show that has like the best spectrum of characters. Like I basically like everybody. Every character is in his own way great, I think. But yeah, I don't know. Season 16 just bored me, so I quit.
I remember when that premiered before you were born, bro.
Oh yeah, like Crazy. 10 years before. I don't know.
When were you born again?
99.
Wow, crazy.
I know, right?
Crazy.
So yeah.
Don't think you're gonna go back to it?
I'm gonna go back to the old seasons because I love those. Like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You don't want to make it a point to power through the later seasons?
No. That's just not. There's no point.
It's not worth.
No, not at all.
It's not worth, mate. It's just not worth it. Have you seen the movie? Have we ever talked about the movie?
Yeah. Like the Simpsons movie, we had that on DVD when I was younger, and that was one of my most watched movies.
I always thought the movie was pretty good. It was all right.
It's pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about that. I rewatched it like a couple of months ago, and it's still good. I still like it. But yeah, anyway, to the movies I saw. The main segment of this podcast, basically. I did good. I watched 13 movies.
Damn.
I think that's my record. But that's also because I watched like 3 on one day and then 2 on one day and shit. Like,
All right, wait a minute. Back the train up, though. Back the train up. Right,
okay.
Is any of these documentaries?
1.
Doesn't count.
Okay. Like, it has feature length, so I think it counts.
All right, we'll accept it.
Another good thing though is I didn't watch any terrible movies. Not at all terrible. Like the worst movie in this list is actually I still enjoyed it.
Okay.
So let's start with that. I watched a movie by Tim Burton.
Timmy Burton.
With Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Winona Ryder, and Michael Keaton. Beetlejuice from 1988.
This is your first watch of Beetlejuice?
Yeah, it was. It popped up on Sky Ticket, and I just saw it. And yeah, it's not bad. So the story is kind of weird, kind of Burton-ish.
Little dark too. Little dark.
Yeah, actually, yeah. The spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home, and they hire a malicious spirit to drive them out, played by Michael Keaton. And I think he's like the best thing about it. Even though I like Alec Baldwin, but like Michael Keaton's performance is very fun. As like this clownish guy.
It's one of his best, roles in my opinion. I thought he was fucking hilarious.
You don't recognize him at all.
No.
Like under that makeup and shit. Dude, this movie is so corny and so 80s. Like with Winona Ryder being like this goth kid, super edgy and shit. It very much feels like a Tim Burton movie. Also, I feel like she was. I feel
like she was one of the first too. One of the first on-screen little goth kids.
I can't comment on that. I don't know.
I think she set the tone.
What?
I think she set the tone for the emos.
I immediately noticed, like, I didn't look it up, but I immediately knew that Danny Elfman made the score.
Oh yeah,
like his music is very, like his style of music is very recognizable, and,
especially around that time. Right.
My favorite music piece by him is the Batman theme. It's just fantastic. But yeah, this movie, like, it's very weird, and I'm not a huge fan of the Tim Burton aesthetic. Like the set looks very strange and dark, and I don't know, like this childish darkness.
Careful, Amin. All right, this is a masterpiece we're talking about here.
I know, like lots of people love this movie, but it's just not my kind of film. I still enjoyed it though. It's cool.
I don't know how you couldn't enjoy it. So I'm glad you. I mean, didn't you enjoy at least the what's his name? The Otho and Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara is a fucking gem.
Very unlikable in this movie.
Yeah. I love that chick.
All right. So to another movie that isn't really my thing.
Did you like the nice fucking model? I mean, fucking honk, kicks the tree. He's all pissed off because he's stuck in the town. And he's like, nice fucking model. And he kicks the tree and he grabs his dick. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Right. It's a PG movie. It's PG.
I know.
So good.
It's like for a PG movie, it's kind of dark. Yeah, that's fair. So next movie, a movie by a guy called Tarsem Singh.
I've heard of this dude.
It's with Lee Pace. I like Lee Pace. He's cool. It's called The Fall from 2006, and that's a strange fucking movie.
I've heard of this. I've heard of this movie. Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
With Serbian subtitles though, but that didn't bother me. I still watch it. So in a hospital on the outskirts of 1920s Los Angeles, an injured stuntman begins to tell a fellow patient, a little girl with a broken arm, a fantastic story of 5 mythical heroes. Thanks to his fractured state of mind and her vivid imagination, the line between fiction and reality blurs as the tale advances. This movie is fucking weird. Like, it begins, like, at the beginning, it's still kind of normal. Like, it's not that confusing, but in the end, it's kind of trippy. It's visually very unique. I feel like it's a very... the thing, though, when I read some reviews on Letterboxd on this movie, people called this, like, visually amazing and one of their favorite visually appealing movies or something, right?
I too have read this. Yes, I've read this before.
I don't know, like the color grading. It's a very yellow movie, and I don't like that. Not my kind of aesthetic.
You don't like yellow.
No, it's just like also like due to the use of yellow color grading in film, which is like Extraction is very yellow, you know, because it takes place in Bangladesh, I think. And like with this yellow color grading in the fall, it didn't look like Los Angeles to me. You know, never had the feeling that this was the US actually. So I don't know, it's not my visuals. Lee Pace was good though. I like him a lot actually. I think he's one of the few qualities of the Hobbit movies. But yeah.
Of the what movies? I didn't catch
the
that.
Hobbit movies.
Oh, the Hobbit movies.
Like he's the elven king, and he's pretty good at that.
That's right. You don't like hobbits.
Yeah.
He is good as a because he looks like an elf. You know, he's got the elf look, man.
He's tall. Yeah, I mean, at the end, this movie gets to a point where it's very weird without feeling that it actually has a point. I don't know. Like, some people call this their favorite movie of all time. It's interesting for sure, but just not really my cup of tea.
There's another movie he did though, The Cell, which I saw in the theater. Yeah. That's another hyped movie for me that I did not like when I saw it because I just thought it was, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. You know, even though Vincent D'Onofrio looks fucking crazy cool in it in a lot of the scenes because they do a lot of cool visual effects in The Cell. I don't know. This director kind of just falls short for me a lot because Immortals. He did Immortals as well with Henry Cavill, and that movie was just okay for me. Like I enjoy that movie, but it's not 300. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more on the Wrath of the Titans page.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But I would probably watch it. I don't know though. I still need to see Wrath of the Titans. So,
have you seen Clash of the Titans?
Oh, I've seen Clash. Yeah, I've seen Clash.
Clash of the Titans. It's so fucking terrible. Wrath is actually better.
Bad.
But yeah.
You know, and I never sat down to watch Dwayne Johnson Hercules either.
I saw that. It's terrible.
I never could bring myself to watch that shit, dude. I never did.
So yeah, this Tarsem Singh guy, definitely unique director, I guess. But when it comes to weird and trippy movies, I prefer David Lynch. Or something like that, right?
He is weird.
Anyway. So next up is a movie that you praised a lot.
But recently. You enjoyed The Fall, though? You didn't think it was terrible?
I did, yeah. Like it wasn't terrible. It was definitely unique and interesting. But
is it recommendable, though?
I mean, I guess, because some people call this their favorite movie. So for some people, this is the right thing. Just not for us, probably. Yeah, and that's fine. So anyway, next movie is Contagion from 2011.
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh with Matt Damon, Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, and Marion Cotillard. So everybody, basically. So healthcare professionals, government officials, and everyday people find themselves in the midst of a pandemic as the CDC works to find a cure. I thought the beginning was great. Like with Gwyneth Paltrow and like when the whole pandemic starts, I thought it was amazing.
Starts, yeah.
And it was really interesting to see all the parallels to the Corona crisis.
Very, very, very close parallels.
Yeah, and it's weird because this movie came 9 years before the Corona crisis, right? So kind of cool. Though in the movie, the situation is a little more dramatic, I think. Like people die in a day or something. And
well, the thing about the movie too is time goes very fast in that movie, and they don't really tell you as it's going fast. It's like weeks pass, a year passes, and you don't even really know. I think that's one of the problems with the film.
Wait, really? Like,
yes,
a year passes? Don't they always like tell you day 30 or something?
There is like things like that, but I feel like they jump ahead like quicker than expected. The movie's pace is very fast, and
that might be true. Because then I'm wrong because I thought that they found a cure within like 30 days. At least like that's what it felt like to me. But that might not be true. And if it was true, that would not be realistic at all.
No, because I believe that, like, because Jude Law's character, like, you see him and it's later on. It's much later
Yeah,
on.
like anarchy is basically happening. Anarchy.
Yes, yes, that doesn't happen like within 30 days for sure in that movie. Like that movie is they don't do a good job of explaining the time.
Yeah, and actually that's what probably my biggest complaint. This movie is so fast in everything.
Very fast.
And for me, it's so fast that actually no plot gets enough time to make me actually care. Before I saw this, I thought this might hit too close to home because of our current situation, right? So it didn't hit me at all. Like the beginning, maybe, but later on, I just didn't really care about anybody.
I mean,
and I think especially Marion Cotillard's plot was completely pointless.
Yeah, I definitely cared for Matt Damon's situation, Kate Winslet's situation. Those are the two.
Oh yeah, actually, Kate Winslet was one of the few things that it stood out to me because I'm not a huge fan of her. I don't hate her at all, but like never really cared.
Well,
but
it's also
I liked her, actually.
Well, it's also through the lens of Lawrence Fishburne with his grief for her for putting her out there too. That's the thing that I would point to is that he kind of let her die because he wouldn't, stop.
You never
her.
actually see that. You never actually know what happens to her.
No, she just dies. That's what I'm saying is that time works so fast in that movie. No, they show her dead on the fucking in a bag.
No,
it's very fast. Okay. It's very fast. They show her dead like in the bag, in a body bag. It's clear body bag and it's her face.
Ah, I see. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
So maybe you should quit texting all the girls, while you're watching the movie. Maybe pay attention, you know what I mean? Jesus.
That's so fun though. Yeah, I like this movie, but I wouldn't say that this is amazing. Like you said it's a 9 out of 10 for you.
I still hold to that too. I still hold to that.
What is it you like so much about it?
I actually like the pace of it because it just gets right into it. There's no dilly-dally about it. There's no dilly-dally.
That's fair. It's a quick watch.
And the fact that it is very, very true to life. It's not really out of the realm as we've seen in recent months of the COVID-19 crisis. We haven't plunged into anarchy, no, but like I said, that's years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I definitely still hold on to that for me, but I like Soderbergh though. Soderbergh and me, we click. So.
Yeah, makes good movies. Maybe a little bit underrated actually.
I think he's rated, but he kind of he comes in and he falls off. Comes in, falls off.
Yeah, true. But I think he mostly delivers a solid product.
Yes, it's quality. There's something quality in his direction, and there's to me there's always something interesting in a lot of his movies, and I don't even know if I would necessarily say Traffic was his best movie, even though that was like his high mark, Mm-hmm. It's definitely a good film.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Moving on to the documentary I saw. It's Apollo 11 from last year by Todd Douglas Miller. It's a look at the Apollo 11 mission to land on the moon, led by Commander Neil Armstrong and pilots Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. And they only use real footage from back then. And the whole documentary is narrated by conversations the control room has with the astronauts, which is very cool, I think. And also the footage looks amazing. Like I think they touched it a little and made it like more like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's what
enhanced the footage.
That's one of the cool things about living now, is old footage looks pretty a lot better, especially when they remaster it and touch it up a little bit.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know why, but I never saw the footage of the moon landing. And seeing the real footage, like when they are on the moon, because they had plenty of cameras with them. Which
are we talking about the Stanley Kubrick footage or?
Right.
We didn't land on the moon, bro. Stanley Kubrick, he shot that, man, and he gave it away in The Shining.
Dude, seeing this footage, like, I think this is proof that they did land on the moon. Because, like, you couldn't have filmed something like that back in the day. Anyway, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories here. Like seeing this footage, like especially them being on the moon, was super surreal and really impressive. Like actually, like for me, I just couldn't imagine being on the moon. Like, you know,
I would
I
fucking
could never
lose my
imagine being
mind
not
if
on
I
the
was.
Earth. Yeah, right.
I would lose my mind if I was on a ship that long. I would be the guy that loses it within 2 days and kills the whole crew. I'm positive of that. That's why I don't go
That
to
would be a
space.
good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good documentary, but sometimes it drags a little. But overall, pretty solid. Moving on.
Wait a minute. How does this
Yeah.
stack up to First Man with Ryan Gosling?
Oh, that was interesting. Yeah. The First Man is of course much more dramatized,
Mhm.
but it also like The First Man also is mostly about the time before they actually go to the moon. And this movie, like this documentary, is only focusing on from the start of the mission to like the moon landing. It's never any background story on Neil Armstrong or anything.
I can't remember. Did you recommend First Man? Or were
I
you-
liked First Man.
You did like it? Okay.
It's a difficult movie because it's very slow and very, I don't know. I think for some people it might be actually really boring.
Nah,
But
I mean,
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting shit though. So
Right. And yeah, Damien Chazelle is a good director, dude.
yeah,
Interesting movie for him actually, because it's not about music. So yeah, next one is the animated feature of the week. I watched a classic animated movie from 1954 by Joy Batchelor and John Hallis, based on a novel by George Orwell. Yeah.
Orwell. Huh?
It's called Animal Farm.
Hey.
A successful farmyard revolution by the resident animals versus the farmer goes horribly wrong as the victors create a new tyranny among themselves. And yeah, it's made in the old classic animation style, which I like.
Mhm.
And this whole movie is basically an allegory for society, but in particular for fascism. So it's very interesting, I think. I never read the book, but I know that, I know Orwell, of course. I can't say his name. I'm stupid. And like his stories are usually like, great. So I think this was very good. Good movie. It's very short. It's on YouTube. And
1984. If you haven't read that, you should always.
I should. I know.
Everyone should have that on their list. It's like required reading in a way. 1984. Now it's weird because I never read Animal Farm, but I did not know this existed. I had no idea about this. This is weird.
Oh, really?
No, I had no idea. This is interesting.
I can recommend it. Like it's very short, like 1 hour and 10 minutes. Good
yeah, that
watch.
ain't nothing.
But
yeah, it's done in the like almost Mickey Mouse fucking Looney Tunes style, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Looks good.
Is it controversial?
Right. No, not really.
I like controversial.
Then it is controversial.
Controversies, you
know. Yeah. I don't have much to say about this. I don't know. Very interesting movie. Next one is a little more interesting though. I watched a movie by Peter Hedges, who's the father of Lucas Hedges, and he's also in the movie with Julia Roberts. It's called Ben is Back from 2018. A drug-addicted teenage boy shows up unexpectedly at his family's home on Christmas Eve. And the drug addict is played by Lucas Hedges, who I think is one of the future big stars, because again, he totally delivers. He's always giving a great performance, I think, in every movie.
Yeah.
And I even like Julia Roberts a lot in this one. Like, I never really hated her, but I was never a fan. Like, I never really gave a shit.
Yeah. She's just kind of there.
Yeah, right. But in this one, she was pretty good. And it's kind of funny. When talking young actors, I always have like Lucas Hedges and Timothée Chalamet in mind. And they both made a drug addiction family movie in the same year. Like this one, and Timothée Chalamet made like Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And I think Beautiful Boy is a little bit better. But Ben is Back is also pretty good. a little depressing, but I think that's a given when you make a movie about drug addiction.
They're both bad titles. Just bad titles, both of them.
Bad titles, you think?
Yeah, Beautiful Boy is just, I just have a hard time saying it. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't know why it irks me, but Beautiful Boy, just, I don't know. I just think Pretty Boy, I don't know. Something about that. Ben is back. It just, that's fine. Beautiful Boy more. I don't know. But this was good?
Yeah, this was good, yeah. I actually, like, going into it, I didn't expect it to be as good as Beautiful Boy, but it comes close. It's pretty solid. Good movie. Good drama.
Well, one thing that jumps out at me for this Peter Hedges is he wrote What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Didn't know that.
Yeah, and I didn't know that Lucas Hedges' father was like into filmmaking.
Well, now you know that he just, he didn't have to try to get his acting career. He was just giving it to him, silver spoon acting kid, I don't like him anymore now. I don't like him at all.
Okay.
He also wrote About a Boy, which is an underrated Hugh Grant movie. I like that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I like that movie.
Isn't that like, okay.
That's a good movie. It's just,
I think that's a book adaptation though.
Well, he wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That's the first time I think I saw Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, I mean, he was like 10 at the time, so it's basically his first role. Yeah. Next up is Ben is back. Next one is
See, the problem with that too is I'm thinking Ben Kenobi right away. You know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Come on, leave it.
There's only one Ben out there, and it's fucking Kenobi.
Yeah, what about Ben Solo?
Or Ben Stiller? Yeah.
Benjamin Button. Yeah, I rewatched a movie that I basically announced this rewatch a couple of weeks ago or last week, I don't know. I rewatched The Last of the Mohicans from 1992 by Michael Mann with Daniel Day-Lewis, Madeline Stowe, and Wes Studi. I don't know.
Did you watch the extended version or the director's
I don't
cut?
think so. I watched the version that's an hour 50 minutes.
Okay, that's the regular then.
Yeah. So 3 trappers protect the daughters of a British colonel in the midst of the French and Indian War. Actually, like I gotta say it right away, it's not as great as I remember it, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I don't actually. You told me that Daniel Day-Lewis was bad in this, or sometimes bad. I don't think like
the waterfall scene.
Yes, that's the only time where I
just
thought,
stay alive.
Like, kind of
stay alive when he's like shaking his head. Smith, just stay alive. Or like right before that, he's like, I'm soaking wet. I gotta admit that was weird, but still, I don't think he's bad in this movie. Actually, he's good enough to make Watch Mojo's top 10 Daniel Day-Lewis performances. Top 10?
Yeah, which was weird. Yeah, I mean, he only made like 15 movies. Or
that's
something.
What I'm thinking, man. Right off the bat, I'm like, he hasn't even been in that many movies. Yeah, I'd have to do my own Daniel Day-Lewis to see if he makes the cut. But here, let me just explain. I'll explain this real quick. I saw this movie like 7 times in the fucking theater. All right, this was a big movie with the family, so it just became like a meme with us when that scene came on, and like we couldn't help ourselves but laugh after like the second viewing of him. Just stay alive. I will find you. And actually, one of the weak points for me, though, is Madeline Stowe. I do not like Madeline Stowe. Okay? She
looks pretty good.
I'm not saying that. I don't like her as an actress. Yeah. She's very, very Andie MacDowell, for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Take it over.
Yeah, okay. Like if he hadn't said anything about his weak acting, I don't think I would have noticed. I'm not sure though.
Still.
So the best thing in this movie, I think, like the music is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And I love the whole atmosphere and the setting this movie has. I think actually Age of Empires 3, which I played a lot back in the day, is heavily inspired by this movie because the music is very similar and the setting is also the same. I just love this. Like I need more movies with Native Americans. You know what I mean?
Good ones too.
I just
Good ones.
like the setting a lot.
And,
this early America.
And you have to talk about Magua, you know, Wes Studi playing Magua, which is, you know, at the time, the most menacing Native American I think ever on screen. Just
he's a great villain.
I thought he was fucking fantastic as Magua. I think Wes Studi kind of got really typecast there into a lot of Indian roles, but he impressed me though with Hostiles. Like I felt like he has a nice little bookend there for his, you know, Indian roles. But the powerful moment for me though is you know, after they kill Duncan, you know, after they shoot him and then they go up the fucking hill and that song is playing. I think that's one of the best moments in cinema history. I love that.
Yeah, dude, the landscapes they shot at, beautiful.
Yeah,
I love the look of this movie. The whole feeling, it's great.
It doesn't feel like a normal Michael Mann movie. It's like a totally different Mann experience.
Man. The battles could have been a little more gory, I think. Just a little more violence. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, this was before Braveheart, though. Braveheart changed the fucking game when it came to battles, because no one expected Braveheart to be that violent, and then they went and saw it in the theater, and they're like, "Oh my god, Jesus Christ!" And then, you know, Saving Private Ryan is another one that upped the game with fucking violence. So, I mean, he still fucking rips out the dude's heart, you know. I mean,
true, but you don't really see it.
He holds it up, you know.
It's like Indiana Jones too.
Magua will take the gray hair under his knife. I love Magua. He's so good. Yeah, so good.
Great. So yeah, actually, like, there's not much to complain about, but like, I just didn't think this was super amazing, even though I liked it.
Also, I think a powerful scene is the scene when what's his name? Uncas. No, when Uncas died, spoiler, 1992. But when Magua kills Uncas, I thought it was awesome. The way he kills him, but then he lets him fall. And the next scene, you see Chingachgook, you know, rounding the corner. And I love it in movies when you don't hear the scream. I think that's, especially when it's done right. That's actually one of the best parts about Godfather 3. Probably the only good part about Godfather 3 is when Michael Corleone at the end is on the steps, his daughter's dead, and he screams. They don't make it audible. I think that's awesome.
I still think that's a very emotional scene. I like that.
I do too. I mean, that to me, that is probably, but I mean, that could have
just been on Al Pacino.
But it could have just been relief that she's finally dead, you know, because she ruined that movie. Sorry, Sophia.
Yeah. Sofia Coppola is a better director than an actor.
She's proven herself. Yeah.
Also, I like when Chingachgook gets his revenge. I think that's an amazing scene.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie visually. So, moving on to another rewatch. I watched a movie with my dad, and I haven't seen this movie in 6 years. When it came out, I saw the first time. It's a movie with Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Michael Caine, Jessica Chastain, Casey Affleck, Timothée Chalamet, John Lithgow, Topher Grace, and Matt Damon.
There we go.
So, big cast. Interstellar by Christopher Nolan.
Rage.
A team of explorers travel through a wormhole in space in an attempt to ensure humanity's survival. I just, when I first saw this.
Was this your dad's first viewing?
No.
Okay.
He saw it like 2 times, I think. Back in the day, like 6 years ago when it came out, I thought, like, it blew me away. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm just not a huge Nolan guy anymore, because it didn't blow me away this time, even though I still think there's great stuff in it and I still like the movie. To give you an idea, it's still an 8 out of 10 for me, you know? It's a good movie, very good.
8's pretty high, yeah.
But I don't know, I think the beginning drags a little. And the movie gets way better with the moment they go into space. Like, I don't know, the beginning is so... it's just lots of exposition. I didn't like that at all. But yeah, when they go into space, dude, the effects and the whole look of the movie, like the sci-fi design, it's fantastic. I think this movie has flawless visual effects. Especially when you go to the black hole, visually stunning. Love it. I like all the actors that are in it. I think there's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, you forgot to mention Wes Bentley. Wes Bentley is in this movie.
I don't know who that is though.
It's the guy from American Beauty, the fucking plastic bag.
Okay.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in this world, I just can't take it. You never saw American Beauty? You've seen American Beauty.
I have, but it's been a long time. So I don't remember much. So
yeah. I went right over your fucking head on that.
I know. In the end, the story gets like to this point where it's really complicated, and like I don't think anybody fully understands this movie. But even though I don't hate it, it's just not my kind of shit anymore. Like when I first saw this, like the scene when McConaughey ends up where he ends up, that location. I thought it was amazing, but this time it was just like, yeah, it's all right. It's kind of cool, but didn't really, blow me off my seat.
Maybe you're not a Nolan guy anymore.
Yeah, but maybe I'm just also not a sci-fi fan. Maybe that's it. Like
I still call bullshit on this not sci-fi fan shit that you keep pulling on.
Maybe, yeah.
I call the bullshit card every time you pull that shit on me. Blade Runner, Ad Astra, fucking.
Yeah, but the thing with Ad Astra is it's not a sci-fi movie for me. It's more the emotional journey, you know. And Blade Runner is different. Blade Runner is not.
How is Blade Runner? Get the fuck out of here! Blade Runner's sci-fi, 100%.
It is, but it's totally different to Interstellar and 2001.
Maybe is it space?
Maybe, even though I like the space shots and I think it looks amazing and I dig that, but
just like fuck space, you know, like who needs it?
Also, one thing I forgot how amazing the robots are in this movie. Like the design,
I love
their
robots.
Interactions. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's where the comic relief comes into play. Is those robots? Yes. You know,
and it's not provided. Too much.
No, it's not too much, and it just provided excellent levity in tense situations.
Yes. The whole scene on the water planet is I think that scene is perfect. Love it. I also like everything on the Matt Damon planet. Also pretty cool. And one thing, dude, the music in this is just out of this world.
It's Hans Zimmer, man. When Hans Zimmer and Nolan get together, they just make,
they deliver.
Yes.
So it's a good movie, but I might just grow out of loving Nolan. I still like him, and I don't think this doesn't lower my expectations for Tenet. Tenet could be a whole different thing.
I don't think you're hyped for Tenet, though.
Not hyped, but I still want to see it.
You're just like, people going back in time.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of time travel. But
time travel is fun, though. Time travel is fun.
It is, but there's always plot holes.
I agree. You can't be flawless. You can't be flawless like Back to the Future,
Yeah, Back to the Future is flawless. Totally.
Flawless.
Yeah.
Well, I have to disagree. But we already talked about it. I do love this movie. Absolutely. From start to finish. And I think it's one of McConaughey's best performances as well. And it's a movie that I actually like Anne Hathaway. So
I liked her too.
Big stretch there. Big stretch.
So next up,
it is weird though. It is weird when you had Interstellar and The Martian come out like so close in a way.
With Matt Damon.
Yeah, it kind of blends in a way because you're like, this is the evil side of Mark Watney. Like this is
a little, yeah.
They didn't find him.
Yeah. All right. Next up is a flawless movie. No, that's not true, but it's a great movie. I think it was the first time I saw it. A cult coming of age movie from the 70s by Philip Kaufman with Ken Wall, Karen Allen, and John Friedrich called The Wanderers.
Are we talking about The Wanderers, baby?
The Wanderers.
Yes.
I loved it. So The Wanderers is a teenage Italian gang in the Bronx, New York City in 1963. They have their confrontations with other gangs. Drugs and weapons are uncool, and adult life awaits them. I think this description is weird. Like, it's never said that drugs and weapons are uncool. But anyway, I think this movie is best described just with the word cool. This movie is so cool. Like, it's super corny.
The music is cool. I love the music in it.
Oh yeah, dude, the song "Call Me the Wanderer," I think.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Dion did that.
This movie is so corny and feels so innocent in a way, and I loved it. I think like this whole thing with the gang and like the main characters, the Wanderers, those four, amazing. Loved it. Their interactions, the whole there's a great dynamic between them, and it's all just very fun. It's a very fun movie, I think.
I like Ken Wall too. Like he didn't
Richie?
He didn't go on to like do anything, but I thought he was great in this.
He's the main guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to say about this movie aside from that I just had a huge smile on my face the whole way through. It's just a good time. Loved it.
And the one guy, the big guy, who's like, leave
Tara?
the kid. No, not Tara. Yeah. The guy on the Wanderers that joins the Wanderers with the toothpick. Perry, yeah. Fucking leave the kid alone.
Dude, he's fucking cool.
The Ducky Boys. Oh, man. Yeah, I grew up on this movie, man. I grew up on this movie because I
expected that, actually.
This is one of those movies that we watched a lot, along with, Grease. I watched The Warriors a lot. But The Wanderers, there's something special about it. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but I always just loved, like, there's heart. There's heart to it. I love the ending of it, too, when they're leaving. I like the fact that they fucking get the fuck out of there. Spoilers.
Yeah, it's not really a happy ending, actually.
No.
Because also he's married to the girl he doesn't really like and shit. Yeah.
I actually like Philip Kaufman, like some of his movies. Like The Right Stuff is also very, very good. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is pretty good. And I think I've talked about Rising Sun with you at some point. The Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes movie. I don't know why, but I love that fucking movie, Rising Sun. But I'm glad you enjoyed this, The Wanderers.
Yeah. I gotta see The Warriors.
The Warriors is another classic. Very different. Very different.
Same here.
Yeah, this has more of a... I don't know. The Warriors seems more serious, but not really. I don't know. It's hard to really put... It really makes me upset because The Warriors, they were going to adapt that into a Hulu show, but it never fucking happened, and it makes me sad because I love the idea of all these gangs in New York, late 70s, and they have... Because that's the thing, too, is The Warriors takes place late 70s. This takes place early 60s. And there's also that scene that I thought was brilliant, too, is when Richie, towards the end, he's looking inside that bar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Bob Dylan playing. And it's like a sign that the times... I mean, I think he's singing the times are changing, but it's also a sign that the time was actually changing. Like, there was a shift there.
Is it really Bob Dylan?
I think it was, trying to be, yeah.
Yeah, because like I looked it up and I didn't find any evidence for like.
Oh, I don't know if it was actually him. I think the movie was trying to say. Okay. Yeah, I don't think. But it was actually Bob Dylan.
I immediately thought that it might be Bob Dylan. So. Yeah. They did a good job. I also like Karen Allen. I don't know.
This guy though, the writer Richard Price, he wrote a lot of The Wire. He wrote The Color of Money.
Ooh.
He's a solid writer.
Yeah.
Ransom, which I've told you about many times. Good shit in there. Good shit in there.
All right. Speaking of good shit, only gets better from now. I finally completed a trilogy that I haven't finished for years.
Interesting. Let's hear it.
I never saw the second movie of the trilogy. I finally have. I watched For a Few Dollars More.
Oh, that one. Okay.
By Sergio Leone with Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef, 1965. Two bounty hunters with the same intentions team up to track down a Western outlaw. And it was very weird at first to see all the guys from Fistful of Dollars recast in this movie.
Different
Especially,
roles.
yeah, different roles, right? Because I think like the way I see it, Clint Eastwood is the same character in all three.
In all three, yes.
But before watching this, I thought that maybe even Lee Van Cleef is the same character as well, and it's like a backstory with Eastwood and Sentenza, what's his name? But he's not the same character at all. Like he's a good guy, not the bad guy. Actually, I think Lee Van Cleef in this movie is so damn cool that he totally steals the show from Eastwood. I think Van Cleef overshadows the also really cool Eastwood, but that was actually my favorite part. Especially like the way they teamed up and went after the gang. That was amazing. I love that.
Lee Van Cleef.
Lee Van Cleef is so cool, man. Like after Eastwood, he's probably the ultimate Western hero for me. Or the anti-hero, basically. The music, of course, fucking great. Ennio Morricone. Nothing to say about that. And I think this trilogy got better with every movie.
Agreed.
I think Fistful of Dollars is great, but Few Dollars More is even better. And The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is like the shit. Like the holy grail of Western.
It all just ramps up. It's weird because it's like a trilogy, but not really. Strange.
No.
Strange.
And it's never really said that he's the same character, but he must be because he's always looking the same. But it's just different adventures.
The man with no name, even though he has a name in a couple of them.
Yeah, like in this one, he's called Manco, and in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, he's called Blondie.
Blondie.
But that's your Eli Wallach impression.
Blondie. That's the best I got for Eli Wallach, man. I don't know.
So yeah, great trilogy. Finally saw all the important Sergio Leone movies. I think the one that I haven't seen is his worst one. It's The Colossus of Rhodes.
Colossus of Rhodes.
Yeah, which like for me it looks pretty cool, but it's apparently not because the IMDb rating is terrible.
Well, then they must be right.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's his first movie. It says that I've clicked on it before. I think we might have. Ooh, interesting. Athenian War.
Yeah, dude, I think the setting is great, but apparently it's not a good movie. So
yeah, I don't really care. I think I would probably still watch this. I love those set piece movies. So
yeah,
might have to give this one a gander there, Amin. 5.9. Who gives a fuck? We might have to watch this.
Fair enough. Maybe I will. Yeah. So 2 movies left.
El Duce.
Another rewatch of a movie that I haven't seen in 3 years. It's a total classic. I think this is a movie that everybody should have seen once. It's by Francis Ford Coppola with Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, and Harrison Ford. Apocalypse Now from 79.
Wait a minute. Redux? Or?
No, actually, no.
Have you gone down Redux yet?
When I first saw this, I saw the Redux version.
Okay.
And this time I saw the theatrical cut because people were saying that this one is actually better. And I agree. I like the theatrical cut more.
I like the Redux version.
Okay, fair enough. So a U.S. Army officer serving in Vietnam is tasked with assassinating a renegade special forces colonel who sees himself as a god. It's not the best summary. Thank you, IMDb. Dude, by God, this movie is a masterpiece. I think. Like,
agreed.
I didn't remember it being this great. Maybe it is actually because I watched the theatrical cut. I think with this one, the pacing is on point. Nothing really takes too long. And I remember the Redux version, some bits are a little bit draggy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think especially the first hour of this is absolutely perfect. Robert Duvall is one of the biggest badasses ever. Like all the scenes with him are just super absurd, funny, a little shocking, but actually just incredibly entertaining.
The fact that they add surfing into the equation is what I love about that. I love the fact when he gets all pissed off about at the one guy and he's like, it's too hairy, sir, and the guy's like, fuck it, I'll fucking surf it. I just like the dude is out of his fucking mind in this movie. And I think it's like Duvall's best role he's ever fucking had because it's so
probably
different. Because I feel like Robert Duvall is always like kind of subdued in a way. Like he's not. I think Duvall is great, and I love him in The Godfather. I love him in The Godfather, and that's also one of the things missing about Godfather 3. Yes. But this role, he's never been this role ever again. It's totally different from what anything he's ever done, in my opinion. And
yes.
I would have loved more of him in Apocalypse Now for sure. But, you know, what you get is brilliant. So you can't really complain.
Yeah, the helicopter sequence, amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, what a spectacle. For that time, super impressive. Like, that's some serious war shit. Still looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. All practical.
And the ending takes a turn. It gets very trippy and feverish.
It's a little trippy, yeah.
Yeah, but I like that. You know, Marlon Brando is kind of, I mean, his weirdness totally fits. He has some great memorable quotes in this one.
This is when he started to become a huge pain in the ass.
Yes.
For Hollywood, is around this time. And, yeah. Continue, sorry.
Also, my man, Dennis Hopper, really, really good. Like, just insane. Again, love it.
It's like premier Dennis Hopper right there. He's all
yes.
That is Dennis Hopper when he's talking like that.
Man. Yeah. Of course, I also really like Martin Sheen in this one. I think his narration is good. I think his character is interesting. I like it. The beginning scene is good. I think when he is. I
would say that's Martin Sheen's best role. That was a real nervous breakdown, so they say on screen. By the way.
Oh, okay.
Which, you find out a lot about this movie when you watch that documentary, Hearts of Darkness.
Yeah.
Which I highly recommend.
I know.
Because there's so much mystique and trippy shit about this movie that you probably haven't heard of that'll open the door. A lot about Marlon Brando, too. Just being a fucking pain in the ass, which he is. And he was. You know, rest in peace.
But isn't it weird then that the outcome is such a masterpiece? Like,
I've always loved the movie. I think this movie is not for everyone though. You know,
no,
I do consider it a masterpiece. There was a time when I thought this was better than Godfather. I don't think that anymore.
No.
But I think that did you say before this is required, or was that a different movie?
What?
Did you said that this is a required movie to watch or something? Was that for this movie or a different one?
I don't know what you mean though. We're required?
Like everyone should see it.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, totally. I think this is
a movie.
This is a must see because it's so influential as well.
I agree, but I think it's for people that like film, not just movies. Like this is a film. Like this is
it's not really an easy watch.
No, it's unsettling. The pacing can be a little off, I think, for some people. But then again, I would agree that if you're going to watch it the first time, you should watch the theatrical cut over the Redux. I think Redux is something you want to dive into if you really want to see more of it. Not necessarily you need to, but yeah. Fantastic movie, though.
Yes. I think this is actually the best Vietnam War movie. I like this more than Platoon and Full Metal Jacket. And I was already sold at the beginning when it's just black and it opens up with the end by the doors. Amazing.
That is also another great opening sequence as well.
The music overall is pretty good.
Because they play the end towards the end, right? Am I tripping? Yeah. It's a nice book end there.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I gotta say, you do need to get a hold of that Heart's Darkness at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. So only one movie left, and I'm not sure most people probably wouldn't agree that this is better than Apocalypse Now.
One more thing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I always do this.
Yeah, I know.
I think I've told you, Harvey Keitel was set to play the Martin Sheen role. So,
I think that would have fit.
That would have fit. You know what I mean? I always think that would have fit. Even though I do think this is like Martin Sheen's best fucking go in a way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Martin Sheen's really that.
He's alright.
I don't think Martin.
His son, though.
Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you Charlie, but not Emilio. I love Emilio. I'm an Emilio.
I haven't really
guy.
seen anything with him, so I can't
They
judge.
were all it was all in the 80s. You know, he doesn't really do much anymore.
So, last movie for today.
Yes.
It is my... I mean, I can say that. It's my favorite movie. I rewatched after a few years Manchester by the Sea. And I think now it definitely shares top one with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Still holds up, huh?
Yeah, right. I can't really compare them. It's a drama by Kenneth Lonergan with Casey Affleck, Lucas Hedges, Michelle Williams, Kyle Chandler, and a small role of by Matthew Broderick, actually. So a depressed uncle is asked to take care of his teenage nephew after the boy's father dies, which I think is not a good summary, but who gives a shit? It still holds up. I haven't seen this for like 2 years. In total, I watched like 5 times, I think. And it's still not a bit worse than I remember. For me, this is one of the best dramas ever. Have you seen this actually?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
For me, Affleck's performance is one of my favorites ever, and his chemistry with Lucas Hedges is, I think, perfect. Like they play so well off each other. It creates some really good natural comedy, which is needed because this movie is overall very depressing. There's some scenes that I think really make me cry every time. It's kind of soul crushing, but don't tell anyone. It's confidential.
Yeah, don't let anyone know.
I like Kyle Chandler a lot.
Fucking crybaby, you fucking crybaby.
Actually, Kyle Chandler is more in this movie than I remember, and he's great. Also, the movie has an underrated soundtrack, in my opinion. The music and in relation to just the setting and the camera, like the small snowy town, I just love the atmosphere. I think it's beautiful.
The East Coast vibe.
Yeah, the Boston. I just can't compare it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'm just gonna say they're both top one for me.
Top ones.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie.
Yeah. Good.
I think you highly overrate this movie just a bit. Just a bit.
It's personal. I don't know. Of course, I just really connect to this movie in a way.
Yeah, because I can't complain about Casey Affleck. I can't complain about Lucas Hedges. Their story is great. I love the Kyle Chandler bits as well, but it just was just good for me. It wasn't. Yeah.
Of course, not everybody will like.
I would give it.
Not everybody has to like it.
I would give it a 7. I would
That's
say
fair.
A solid 7. Like I don't get the masterpiece vibe. And I think Casey Affleck is just okay in this. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know if that was a well-deserved.
I think it is. I think it perfectly fits the tone of the movie.
Because I kind of side with some of the complaints that it's just a little morose. I think he's just kind of morose throughout the whole movie. I think Lucas Hedges kind of steals the show. In the movie.
A little. I mean, Affleck, it's a very low-key performance. It's not a Daniel Plainview,
No.
It feels just very authentic. I think this movie is absolutely realistic in how it plays out and how it's portrayed.
It's a realistic drama for sure.
So
Then you got Michelle Williams, and that takes it down like 5 points.
She's not that much in the movie. And I like her in the movie.
Like 5 points at least. Now it becomes like a 5,
Okay.
No, I mean, at least I can, enjoy this flick opposed to your other one there.
Yeah, which I still don't understand, but let's not get into that.
We can break it down. No. So that's all you watched?
Yes. I mean, it's a lot.
Is Lonergan doing anything too? That's a good question.
Not sure. Actually, initially, Matt Damon was supposed to play Affleck's part. And I don't think that would have fit.
No, I like the Casey Affleck choice. It was a good movie for him too.
Damon produced it though. It's like his idea. I don't think Kenneth Lonergan is doing anything.
Looks like it, yeah.
He only did 3 movies total.
He wrote a TV series episode, but that is it in 2020. He hasn't done shit since 2016, man. Like 2017. A lot of well, he did develop the Howard's End TV show, which I don't really think you need when you have a good movie for Howard's End. He wrote the screenplay for Gangs of New York, though. That's
okay.
Crazy.
That's cool. So he's more of a writer, really.
And the screenplay for Analyze This and Analyze That. That's that's a fucking eclectic blend there. The Analyze This movies, The Gangs of New York, and Manchester by the Sea, all written by Kenneth Lonergan.
So he seems to be a good screenwriter.
Poor guy. He's only 5'8". Man, that's gotta suck. I'm sorry.
Fun fact.
I'm sorry. See, we can always talk about that,
About the height of actors.
We should have called this 6 Foot Cinema. That should have been our
So we only talk about Lee Pace and who else is tall.
We don't watch movies unless there's tall people in them. They have to have some actor that's 6 foot and above.
Yeah, that's why I hate Tom Cruise. Because he's so short. Actually, who's a really tall actor?
That one English guy is super tall. That's Stephen.
Stephen Merchant. Yeah,
he's super tall. I think.
True.
And then I think the Skarsgård dude is about 6 something.
Oh, the son though, not Stellan.
Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård. Let me see.
He looks tall. Yeah.
I think he's like 6 foot at least.
Oh yeah, he's tall. I don't know how much that is in feet, but he's tall in centimeters.
Oh, that's right. We're on different metrics and shit.
All right. I think that's it for today. Then we'll be back next time, and send us some emails,
Did you get it?
I forgot to mention that at the beginning. No. stairwaycinema@gmail.com. But yeah, I don't think there's not a lot of people who actually listened to our last show, but we got quite a few views on the earlier episodes. We were like around 100 plays on our podcast now.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's like 40 unique people that listen to it.
Don't you love analytics? I love that shit.
Yeah, it's cool.
You like it better when the numbers go up, obviously. Yeah, but I mean, still cool though. It's still cool.
Yeah. All right, then talk to you next week.
Have a good weekend, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's Stairway to Cinema episode 31. We might be back streaming some more craft in a bit. We shall see. We shall fucking see. All right, have a great weekend.